Police say 5 people kidnapped and beat up a woman who talked to police about a crime those 5 are suspected in. One of those suspects speaks. Coming up.
Friends are remembering a cardiologist killed in Bourbon County, how they're keeping his legacy alive.
Dozens of Kentuckians lined up at the starting line of the Boston Marathon today. We caught up with 2 of them running for a reason.
This is WKYT News at 11.
And good evening. A very warm day out there across the Bluegrass. Felt more like summer, really.
It was hot out there. We don't see this weather often this time of year, but it looks like it's sticking around, at least for now. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Yeah, guys, late evening thermometers, to put it in perspective, in some areas are still just above normal high temperatures for this time of year. Many of us with readings right now into the upper 60s to around 70. It is still 73 degrees into Jackson and Ashland, 74 Lexington, 74 Prestonsburg, 66 into Lexington. Let's hit the fast forward on your thermometer. Let's go to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Readings into the mid to upper 50s, and watch how quickly those numbers rise by the time we hit your lunchtime hour. Back into the middle 70s. First thing tomorrow afternoon, it's upper 70s to low 80s, so maybe just a degree or 2 cooler than what we had out there today, but I don't think too many folks are going to be complaining about temperatures right around 80 degrees. We are on the warm side of a big storm system that is out across the plain states. Notice the showers and thunderstorms that are beginning to increase along and ahead of this slow moving system. That'll roll our way for the second half of the week. Guys, we could actually use a little rain, and I've got some showing up in a brand new hour-by-hour forecast. We'll look at that together at 11:13.
All right, Chris, thank you. Police say she had injuries all over her body. Tonight, 5 people face charges in connection with what Richmond police are calling an assault and kidnapping.
Police are telling us the group lured the woman to an apartment. There, according to police, they beat her and threatened her just to get some information. Garrett Weimer's tracking the investigation in our top story at 11.
Police say when they met with the victim, she had 2 black eyes. One was swollen shut, with bruises and knots over her entire body. Did you do that?
No, I did not.
In an interview from jail, Candace Brannon says she, Justin White, Michael Walters, Aaron Estel Bradshaw, and Jordan Cornelison did not do what they're accused of.
We did not kidnap that girl. It never should have went that far.
Police say the victim in the case was lured to an apartment on Hampton Way. There, police say White and Brannon would question and assault her when she denied that she gave information to police about a recent shooting.
I could really go to prison and lose my freedom and be away from the people I love the most.
Brannon admitted to the terroristic threatening and assault charges, but she says she never kidnapped anyone, and neither did the other 4 suspects. I asked all 5 suspects for an interview. Only Brannon accepted. She says she's friends with the victim. She says they did get in a, quote, altercation, but believes the woman made up the rest of the story to get back at her.
Justice has not been served because I feel like my word doesn't mean nothing compared to what one person is saying.
In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And Brannon says her first court date is on Wednesday. She says her bond is set at $100,000.
New tonight, a Central Kentucky man now faces charges in connection with the death of a Wisconsin man. The Mercer County Sheriff's Office says they have arrested 61-year-old Clarence Hicks. Hicks is charged with hiding a corpse. Police in Wisconsin say Hicks dumped the body of Douglas Bailey last year along a road in Bell County. Bailey's girlfriend, Rose Cooney, is accused of killing him. Cooney is charged with intentional homicide and hiding a corpse. 2 men convicted of murdering Alexis man 30 years ago are up for parole. Clarence Jones was found guilty in the 1986 robbery and murder of Clay Nelson at Columbia Steakhouse. Eric Hayden was also convicted in the case. Today, Nelson's family addressed the parole board asking to keep both Jones and Hayden in prison.
State police are trying to piece together what exactly happened and led up to a deadly crash this afternoon in Bath County. The coroner says that 51-year-old Alan Conway of Owingsville lost control on Kentucky 36. His vehicle went off the road and hit a utility pole. The coroner pronounced Conway dead at the scene. No one else was in the vehicle. Now, friends and co-workers are remembering a cardiologist killed while riding his bicycle this weekend. The Bourbon County coroner says that Dr. David Cassidy was hit by an SUV while he was riding his bicycle yesterday on Lexington Road in Paris. Dr. Cassidy died at the scene. State police are calling the crash an accident. Dr. Cassidy's friends say he was an avid cyclist.
I don't recall very often when he was home that he wasn't working in the yard or planning some kind of event. He's just a very energetic person to be around. He's a great neighbor and a great friend to have.
Millward Funeral Home is handling arrangements for Dr. Cassidy. A date and time for his funeral service is still pending.
A Southern Kentucky man convicted of murder for a deadly crash has been released from prison. Earlier this year, a Laurel County judge sentenced Justin Weebles to 20 years in prison. Police say he caused a crash that killed Jerry Thompson in June of 2014. Weebles has filed an appeal with the Kentucky Supreme Court. And while the case is on appeal, a judge is allowing Thompson out on bond. The judge says he cannot talk about the decision, but Thompson's family says they feel like they're fighting for justice again.
I think the jury should just be done away with because it's a farce. What they say doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That jury might as well not have been there.
The judge does say it is common for murder cases with 20-year sentences to be automatically appealed to the state's high court. The prosecutor says Weebles will be on home incarceration until the court decides his case.
A grand jury will hear the case of a Southern Kentucky man accused of hitting and killing a man last week. Williamsburg police say Adam David Childress drove drunk on US 25, ran off the road and hit a man who was walking on the sidewalk. The walker, Richard Perkins, died at the scene. Childress is charged with murder. Williamsburg's mayor tells us Childress had just started working for the city's sanitation department. Childress used to work at the Whitley County Jail. And the case against a Jessamine County babysitter accused of abusing a baby has been waived to a grand jury. Police say that Erin Thompson was caring for the 4-month-old at her home when the child was injured. A doctor at UK Hospital says Kylie Jo had skull fractures and brain swelling. Today's hearing did not last long, but Kylie Jo's family says it was still important to them, and the family vows to be at each and every court proceeding moving forward.
It's important that she knows that somebody's there for Kylie. That, you know, no matter what, even if there's 2 words spoken, we're going to be there to hear it.
Kylie Jo's family says she is improving. She was moved from UK Medical Center to Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation today for therapy there.
A Perry County doctor and his wife have been found guilty on several different charges. In total, a federal jury found James H. Cheney and his wife Lisa guilty on nearly 200 counts. The 2 were convicted of drug distribution, healthcare fraud, and money laundering. Dr. Cheney was taken into custody. His wife was given time to arrange family obligations. The 2 will be sentenced in August. Some of the convictions carry sentences of up to 20 years in prison. We've learned tonight that the federal government has filed a motion to dismiss a bribery charge against a former state employee. Tim Longmire is accused of taking thousands of dollars in kickbacks while he was the head of the state personnel cabinet. The government says they plan to file an alternate charge. There's no word yet on what that charge will be.
New tonight at 11, a Lexington business owner cleaning up after thieves broke into his store's vans. Barney Miller told us that 2 men broke into work vans behind his store last night and stole about $2,000 worth of tools. Surveillance video shows a man breaking the windows and getting inside. Another man pulls a car into the parking lot, and the 2 put some tools in the car. Miller says they have had break-ins in the past, but this is the first one in a while. Deputies in Morgan County asking for help tracking down a theft suspect. The sheriff tells us this man broke into a storage building over the weekend and over at Frederick and May Construction. The crews there store their tools at night there. They believe the man stole about $7,000 worth of equipment.
It has been 3 years since the deadly bombings at the Boston Marathon, and today dozens of Kentuckians were among the thousands at the starting line, many of them running for a reason. Sean Moody talked to 2 of those Lexington runners. He joins us at the live desk, and Sean, it was an emotional day for the 2 of them, I'm sure.
Hey there, Amber. Fighting through the 26 miles of a marathon can be an up and down experience. Several Kentuckians rode that roller coaster today, joining more than 30,000 people up there. One finished along with runners that she coached along the way. Another didn't quite make it, but still did a lot of good for people back home. For the people out there on the streets of Boston, this isn't just a race.
For me, it's a pretty big deal. Boston's not just about the run, it's about many, many things.
Veronica Ensminger is a Lexington police officer and a national coach with Team Hoyt.
You know, I see family and I see everybody else from Team Hoyt. Really, that whole way. When somebody sees that Team Hoyt jersey that I'm wearing, they yell, you know, go Hoyt, go Team Hoyt. And it really gives you that extra motivation and drive. Like, you know, if something hurts, at least I have the ability to be out here.
She finished in a little over 3 hours, along with runners from across the country that she's been coaching for months.
Oh, it's awesome. That's what we're sitting here doing, congratulating everybody.
Josh Nadzum had a rough day.
I gave it everything I had. I really started to struggle around mile 13. And then my attitude became, okay, just finish it, even if you have to walk a little bit.
We've profiled him before. He was running to raise money for Greenhouse 17, a domestic violence shelter here in central Kentucky. He's been struggling with back issues for the past few weeks.
I checked in at a medical tent at mile 19, but then I told him, no, I'm just going to finish it. And then I got to mile 20, and that was all she wrote. And so many people had rallied behind me and told me that they were going to be watching and told me they were going to be following me. And so that was really weighing on me after I stopped at mile 20. I just kind of felt like, man, I hope I didn't let anybody down.
Now, even though Josh didn't cross the finish line, it'd be pretty tough to say he let anybody down. He smashed his fundraising goal, bringing in nearly $3,000. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
That is pretty incredible. And by the way, that amount is nearly triple what Josh had initially set out to raise.
Still to come on WKYT News, a new spin on tailgating at UK games this fall. We'll show you how fans can tailgate in luxury.
I never count any chickens before they hatch.
And all eyes are on the New York primary tomorrow. Will the hometown ties help the front runners in the polls?
When severe storms roll in, we go to work to keep you and your family safe with continuous coverage on air, on WKYT.com, and wherever you are with our news and weather apps. First Alert Severe Weather Days, only on WKYT.
Name something your wife has that's bigger than yours.
My wife got to have a big old butt.
Or else this ain't going down. Got to have a bigger butt.
Family Feud, 1 full hour starting at 7 on the CW Lexington.
Right now, at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. During the spring clearance event, new 2015 Jeep Renegade Sports, just $189 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You could play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold. Fueling imagination, funding education.
Don't let dust and allergies get between you and life's beautiful moments. With Flonase Allergy Relief, they won't. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6. And 6 is greater than 1. Flonase outperforms the #1 non-drowsy allergy pill. So you can seize those moments wherever you find them. Flonase 6 is greater than 1 changes everything.
Right now, at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. During Ram Truck Month, new 2016 Ram, Bighorn Crew Cab 4-wheel drives are only $199 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Quite the pattern across the country right now. Parts of the Rockies, around Denver, a couple feet of snow. We're on the good side of all this, and we're getting an early taste of summertime. Let's start you out with a wide view just to show you the setup across the country as of now. You see the blast of cold well to our west. Warm high pressure across the southeastern seaboard. That is what is influencing our weather right now, and it's going to carry us for at least a few more days. Yes, we have a cold front to our west, but that front does not have a lot of juice with it. A little cloud cover trying to increase this evening across parts of the Bluegrass region. Put everything in motion with some of those showers trying their best to get close to the Mississippi River. So It's a slow-moving system. We get summer temperatures for at least a few more days before those rains even think about getting in to central and eastern Kentucky. Mount Sterling, chances are that thermometer is located in a valley. That's where the cold air tends to pool. Look at that, 57, yet 70 still in Moorhead, 73 into Jackson. Another cool thermometer showing up around the Danville area at 57 degrees. Tomorrow, let's summer it up again, my friends. Low 80s coming your way. Humidity is still low, though it's not going to be quite as low as what we had today, which was basically about as low as you're ever going to see it around here with a sunny and a warm day, especially in the springtime. Tomorrow, it's warm, it's sunny, high clouds into the afternoon, 80 to 85 degrees. Into Wednesday, warm temperatures remain. Can't rule out a late day shower or thunderstorm. Most of Wednesday is dry. This is not an all-day rain on Thursday. You're going to get some drier times, but temperatures will get a little closer to normal by that time as well. I mentioned a brand new hour-by-hour forecast. 50s tomorrow morning, noontime. High clouds, tomorrow's backdrop with that blue sky with a little bit of ice crystal clouds underneath it. Absolutely perfect out there. Mid-70s will push 80 before the afternoon is through, if not a few low 80s. Depends on the whole clouds versus sun thing where you live. Tomorrow night at this time, still into the 60s. Waking up Wednesday morning, dry conditions. Into the afternoon, we will push 80 yet again with a threat for a shower or thunderstorm. Notice how the flow is now southerly, so we have more in the way of humidity. We'll moisten up the atmosphere so that as we get into Thursday afternoon, the potential is there for at least some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Then the longer range call this weekend will warm it up. Early next week, though, it's a pattern that will try to storm it up as we get a system that slowly moves across the plains. That's a setup. Last week of April into the first week, Kentucky Derby week of May, that can deliver some rounds of thunderstorms. And we actually could use some drops around here. It's been dry so far for the past several weeks, and obviously it's going to stay dry for a day or two more. We get the showers and storms in late Wednesday, more than likely on Thursday.
Another beautiful hot day tomorrow, but a nice one out there.
82 in April is hot.
Yes.
That qualifies.
Indeed, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Coming up, some sad news about a funny lady. Details on the passing of Doris Roberts in about 4 minutes.
When someone is injured on the job, that injury can devastate a family. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, and any loss of income can be a significant hardship. I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. There are questions you may have. When must I report my injury? What benefits am I entitled to? Where do I receive medical care? You can find answers at forthepeople.com. Don't wait. Your future is in your hands. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Wouldn't it be great to know what your car payment will be before you visit the dealership?
Thanks to Your Deal, Your Way, now available exclusively at paulmillermazda.com, you can pick your payments and negotiate the best price for your new Mazda.
This is the easy, convenient, and private way to get your deal your way.
Visit paulmillermazda.com to get the deal you love online.
Your deal, your way.
Points, click, save. paulmillermazda.com.
I'm Amy Henson. My husband and I founded Rock Bottom Soaps. We use goat milk to make soaps and lotions that help dry, irritated skin. We're members of Appalachian Proud, part of the Kentucky Proud program, which helps local families just like ours. Look for Kentucky Proud products available every day at Kroger.
Right now at Kroger, Ale 8 is 3 for $10 when you buy 3. And Kroger Sour Cream or Dip is 2 for $4. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
Has this ever happened to you? Or this? Will this make your memoirs? At Shelter Insurance, we can't iron out all the glitches in modern life. But we can manage your auto, home, and life insurance just fine. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
My hospital bills were over $300,000. As soon as I got the first bill, I contacted Becker and I was like, is there anything that you guys can do with it? And they was like, we'll handle it. They talked to the hospitals to try to get it knocked down as best as they could. Whenever I found out that they knocked my bills down from about $300,000, I was just thankful. It's a relief.
Serious, experienced results. Call the Becker Law Office. Just dial 3s.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The crucial New York presidential primary is now just hours away.
Both the frontrunners, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, are counting on their hometown ties to put them in the win column. Weijia Jiang reports from New York City.
Hillary Clinton is counting on a win in her adopted home state of New York to regain momentum. She's lost 7 straight contests to the Brooklyn-born Bernie Sanders.
We're going to work hard. We're going to do everything we can between now and 9 p.m. tomorrow night when the polls close.
Clinton has a 10-point lead over Sanders in the latest CBS News poll.
I never count any chickens before they hatch.
But Sanders has come from behind before. He won the Michigan primary despite Clinton's double-digit lead in the polls.
If we get a large voter turnout tomorrow, we're going to win here in New York.
Republican frontrunner Donald Trump has more support in his native New York than Cruz and Kasich combined. Political analysts say he needs to win big here and in several more states to secure the GOP nomination before the convention.
New York is looking great, but you got to go and vote.
Ted Cruz warns if Trump is nominated, it will be a bloodbath for the GOP in November.
Nominating Donald Trump hands the election to Hillary Clinton.
2012 Republican nominee Mitt Romney says Cruz and Kasich split the vote, and one of them must drop out to stop Trump from locking up the nomination. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, New York.
Trump campaign sources confirmed to CBS News that the New York businessman is shaking up his team, putting some new hires in charge of operations in upcoming states, and they plan to spend more money on advertising.
New tonight, a family spokeswoman says a popular sitcom star has passed away. Everybody Loves Raymond star Doris Roberts died overnight in her sleep in Los Angeles. The 90-year-old played the meddlesome mother to Ray Romano's character on the long-running CBS sitcom. The cause of Roberts' death is unknown.
The state will pay Kentucky's 2 largest newspapers hundreds of thousands of dollars to settle a lawsuit filed over the release of documents. The documents are for cases about children who have died or been injured from neglect or abuse. The newspapers say they were denied access to records for a case in 2009 and one in 2011. A judge ruled the papers had the right to review the records. Our partners at the Herald-Leader report the state will pay them and the Courier-Journal $250,000. You can read about this story now on WKYT.com.
A police chief in Nelson County is stepping down tonight. Bardstown Police Chief Rick McCubbin announced this evening he is retiring. His last day will be May 31st. Last week, Bardstown's mayor said he was going to restructure the police department. Starting June 1st, Detective Mackenzie Mattingly will take over as interim chief. Mattingly is being promoted to assistant chief at the end of the month as part of the mayor's restructuring plan. 2 other officers announced their retirement last week. Kentucky football fans will be able to tailgate in style this season.
The 1865 Club will open this fall, featuring luxury tailgating suites that can fit up to 30 guests. Each private suite will have a kitchen, 4 HD televisions, heat and air, a full-size refrigerator, and half bath. Standard tailgating food and drinks are included with the rentals, which last for 12 hours. Rentals come with 30 passes per suite, but game tickets are not included. Another option for tailgaters.
That is tailgating in style at its finest for sure. One of the best big men in the country remains uncommitted.
You know, at one time we thought we would know last weekend where Marquise Bolden is headed. We still don't know. We'll have the latest. And the next Wildcat giving his team a lift tonight in the NBA playoffs. The highlights on the way next in sports.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
I'm a Toyota truck. I like to get dirty. I'm made in America. I can tow over 10,000 pounds. I'm indestructible. I keep my family safe. I work hard. I play hard. I am a Toyota truck. Right now, get a new 2016 Tundra with 1.9% financing for 60 months. Toyota, let's go places.
If you're in a car accident and searching for a lawyer, you need to ask that lawyer 3 questions. 1, have you practiced law in Kentucky your entire legal career? 2, have you recently tried a case in a Kentucky courtroom? And 3, have over a dozen of the nation's largest insurance companies retaining you to try their cases. At Golden Law Office, we can answer yes to all these questions. Put our inside knowledge to work for you. Call us today for a free consultation.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $89 million, and Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $227 million.
If your child has been bullied, injured, or abused, please call one of our child advocates right now. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We hid cameras in 2 different cars, the Chevy Equinox with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi and the Ford Escape without.
Chocolate chip, chocolate chip.
Keep your legs down. Peter, put your leg down.
Chevrolet is the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Find your tag and get a total value of $2,250 on this Chevy Equinox. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Meet Kyle. You name it. Dust, pollen,
And pet dander.
he's allergic to it.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified asthma and allergy friendly, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander for a cleaner, healthier home.
Goodbye, Mr. Steamer.
Bye, Kyle.
Call now about our $33 per room carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
Kentucky's 40th Annual Shriners Hillbilly Days Festival, April 22nd through 24th in Pikeville, Kentucky. 3 live stages of music, carnival rides, 300 vendors, a car show on Saturday, and the Shriners Parade on Sunday. The 40th Annual Hillbilly Days Festival, April 22nd through 24th in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Nominate your favorite teacher for Teacher of the Year at WKYT.com/teacher. They could win a $1,000 Visa gift card, and you could win a $500 gift card. Teacher of the Year brought to you by Morehead State University and WKYT.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 100.1 WKQQ.
The latest on big man Marquise Bolden is that he apparently will make his decision later this week. Bolden's coach, Chris Dyer, telling the Herald-Leader today that he and Bolden will sit down and discuss the players' recruitment tomorrow morning and hopefully set up an announcement for later in the week. Sunday, Bolden celebrated his 18th birthday. He had said previously he wanted to make a decision by that date. The decision is down to UK and Duke. Bolden, who's out of DeSoto, Texas, also says TCU is in the mix. He says he already has a good relationship with UK associate head coach Kenny Payne.
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking to him since last summer. We talked a lot at first. My relationship with him is pretty well. I mean, he tries to let me know like the type of work they put in, and I talked to previous Kentucky players, and so they really love the way Kenny handled them. I mean, from the type of work to the way they handle themselves and everything like that. So I mean, the relationship with KP is pretty good.
Jimmy Brumbaugh, Kentucky's defensive line coach, has a contract extension and a raise. The deal is $300,000 per year through 2018. That's a 1-year extension and a raise of $50,000 per season. According to the Courier, the raise came after Brumbaugh turned down an offer from another FBS school. A Kentucky player has led all SEC defensive linemen in tackles in each of the last 3 seasons. Now, Brumbaugh has some holes to fill on that defensive line. There are also holes to fill at linebacker. One of them will be filled by Courtney Love, who transferred in from Nebraska. Love will be out there with sophomore Jordan Jones. He played last season as a true freshman, and Love really likes him.
He's a different player. You know, he's hyper, and that's not a bad thing. It's really good. I like it because it rubs off on the other guys the right way, and the other guys are, you know, maybe lacking a little bit, and Jordan just brings him right up. You know, he's just hyper. He's gonna be in your face. He's gonna call you out. He's a great kid. He's gonna be a fine player. I can't wait.
Trainer Bob Baffert has lost a Derby contender. Cupid is out because of a breathing problem. Cupid won the Rebel Stakes at Oaklawn, but then ran 10th in Saturday's Arkansas Derby. He went off the favorite. Baffert said the colt would undergo surgery today at Rood and Riddle here in Lexington to clear his breathing passage. Now, it's not a serious problem. Cupid could still be considered for the Preakness, and Baffert still has more spirit to run in the Kentucky Derby. On to baseball. Reds back home tonight to open up a series with the Rockies and trailing 1-0 in the 6th. Jordan Pacheco drives one to the left field wall. Zach Cozart went to third, and then he scored here on a throwing error by left fielder Gerardo Pera. That tied it up 1-1. But in the 8th inning, Trevor Story connecting off reliever Ross Ohlendorf. Story with his 8th home run of the season already. Rockies take the lead, and then later on in the 8th, Ben Paulson jumping on Jumbo Diaz. This one with 2 men on, a 3-run shot, a 5-1 game. Colorado goes on to win it by a final score of 5-1. Make that the other way around, 5-1 Rockies. NBA playoffs, Raptors looking to even up a series with the Pacers. Eastern Conference first round, late in the 3rd, Patrick Patterson driving, missing the shot, but is there to get his own rebound and the putback. Toronto up 69-63. Then off the jump ball, the former Wildcat takes it in for the layup. Patterson with 14.6 boards. Toronto wins game 2 by a final count of 98-87. Steph Curry not in action tonight for the Warriors. We'll be right back.
With a heavy-duty welded steel deck and exclusive smooth track steering, the Hustler Raptor zero-turn mower doesn't play around. It's got the power to turn your weekend to-do list into your weekend to-done list. The legendary Hustler Raptor family starting at just $27.99. Tools, not toys.
Get your Hustler mower at Huss Equipment in Nicholasville and Valley Farm Equipment in Science Hill.
Folks have been taking the short drive to satisfaction for over 20 years. Folks from everywhere come here, not just from here in Winchester. And who wouldn't come here? With over 2,500 vehicles to choose from here in Winchester, Kentucky. No matter if it's 100 miles or the short drive from Lexington, our staff will help you start your journey. Tim Short Chevrolet.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $227 million.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. All of life's moments, big and small. Each triumph and challenge. Because you were made to live and live well. And we're here to make sure you do. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic. Your doctors for life.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true, Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The new, meticulously crafted 2016 Terrain Denali from GMC. This is the precision of professional grade. Or current lessees switch to GMC and get this low-mileage lease on this Terrain SLE1 for around $199 per month.
Visit your Bluegrass GMC dealer today.
Are you tired of juggling your finances and can't afford those remodeling projects?
Surplus Sales has hardwood flooring starting at only $199 per square foot.
Come on down to Surplus Sales for some great deals.
People really do live life in their Toyotas. Live well in the 4th generation Toyota Prius. With more dynamic performance and handling and up to 58 miles per gallon. Now get 0.9 financing for 60 months. Or lease Prius for $239 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Best weekend all year.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull. Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Hillary Clinton, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and Katharine McPhee from the CBS drama series Scorpion.
Time to put the shades on the emojis.
The emojis are all smiles. They've got the cool shades on. You will too tomorrow afternoon with temperatures hitting the low 80s. Plenty of sunshine across the area. Overall, it's a good-looking emoji, if I must say so myself.
That it is. We hope you have a great day tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Take care.